What is going on, everybody? And welcome to episode number 44. That's right, 44. Put them together. Pow! 44 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. Please take off those stupid ass sunglasses.
What up, bro? I'm just trying to get us some views.
God damn it. I understand that you're dumb, stuck fucking linen sunglasses.
I'm just trying to get us some views. This got us 1.5K on YouTube.
No, your mom did. No, your mom
Let's
did.
go.
Your mom did.
True.
That's
true.
And I don't mean that in the bad way. Your mom got us the 1.5.
I don't think that she did. I'm pretty sure that all 5 of our dislikes that we have on that is her.
Yeah,
because
she didn't like that clip because what you
she
said.
hated it, man.
I don't care, man.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I still stand by John Leonard's an ass. I still don't like him.
She said as long as you don't talk bad on George Harrison now, she'll forgive you.
I have no qualms with George Harrison. So we're good.
Either way.
But anyway, guys, welcome in episode number 44 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. We are down a member. Our infamous Squid is out, getting his tentacles looked at. Now he's feeling a little bit under the weather. So, but we found a great substitute right now for the time being. Bill, you make sure you stay down there, stay in bed. Keep that thermometer in your mouth. We gotta make sure your temperature stays good and keep that ice pack on your head. We don't want you to feel bad. So, but yeah, no, he's out. He's not feeling too great. But we still got a great crew here. We've got myself. We've got Scruffy. We got Enigma, holding it down.
Just so you know, you didn't crop that image correctly.
I don't care.
I'm just letting you know, bro.
I don't care.
That's true.
It's good enough. And the people that are listening on Anchor, because we're on anchor.fm/Pre-Patch Podcast, right? What is it? Is Pre-Patch Podcast or just Pre-Patch Podcast? There we go.
Yep.
They're not going to see it. And if you guys want to listen, you can go and download us on now the Apple Store because we're there
Apple
too.
Now,
yeah, on Apple.
Finally,
man.
right?
They can. Well, look, man. Apple was a little busy. Apple called us actually. Apple called us and asked, hey, look, we got a lawsuit going on. Are you guys okay? And we were like, you know what? It's fine.
I said, you know
it's
what?
fine.
As long as you're sticking it to Sweeney,
yeah, it's fine.
Take as long as you need, boo boo.
It's fine. Yeah,
and we're halfway now to the sponsorships.
Yeah,
getting there.
A little over half. So if you guys are going to listen to it, try it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that no matter what you listen to it, it still counts towards our viewership or our audience on Anchor. But if you could go to that link, click on it, click on wherever you're going to listen to. We've got Spotify again, like we said, we've got Apple finally, we got Google Podcasts, we got several other marketably unknown podcasts. If you do listen to those, you can listen to them on that. But do go through our Anchor feed if you could. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. You can click on that link. But again, for all of our people that are listening afterward, if you ever want to come in and join us live, we do this live every other Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch across all the channels, my channel, Scruffy's channel, Enigma's channel, and Bill's channel. You can engage with us on chat. You know what I mean? We always engage with you, whether we're yelling at you, screaming at you, arguing with you. We normally disagree with you on most occasions.
There's never a time one person at least doesn't disagree.
Yeah, there's always a fight.
Yeah.
It's always, no matter what. And even when one person is down and out, we have to fill that void with even more salt. So just be prepared. But no, we got a jam-packed show tonight. It's a lot of cool stuff to talk about. And as always, if you're new to the show, we start off every single episode. We're talking about the Twitch news, YouTube drama, any kind of drama or stuff that's going on in the streaming world. So yeah, jumping right into it. Two things with Twitch, one of which TwitchCon, got announced for 2022. It is
I didn't hear about that.
Amsterdam is happening in, July, I believe, and San Diego is happening in October. Of next year. Do you think that these are actually going to happen?
No.
Me either.
100% they're not going to happen.
Probably not.
They're going to get canceled 100%.
Yeah, if they do happen, I feel like it's going to be I don't know if you guys saw the PAX West that happened, and it was a shit show. It was like complete trash.
Yeah.
So
that's what I heard.
Yeah, it was not good. And they charged full price, which was what was even crazier for it. And it was only like a tenth of the show, so it was kind of crazy. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think TwitchCon San Diego will happen. I think it'll be moved. I think that venue will get moved because I think California is not going to allow them to do it. I firmly believe it will be moved to like Austin or somewhere in Texas, somewhere like that.
I was about to say, I would be extremely surprised if it does go into California with their restrictions.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be California, but I think it will be end up probably being into like Texas or something like that. And then the Amsterdam one, I don't think will happen because the U.S. bans are still in pretty big effect for most of the world when it comes to us traveling. So I don't know. Keep it on the marker. We'll see. Maybe if it does happen, we'll have a pre-patch podcast at TwitchCon. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see if we can make that happen. The other Twitch news is, and they made a huge fucking email blast, like rah. So Twitch apparently like made some deal with the National Music Publishers Association, for DMCA, that they were like, oh, it's a great productive partnership between the services and it's perfect for streamers. All it changed was basically saying that no, you can still get DMCA, you can still get banned, but we're gonna give you a warning first.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you a warning
first. We're still gonna delete your VODs and everything and all that, but
Yep. So the exact quote is that Twitch will provide new opportunities to music publishers who will be offered an opt-in deal allowing for future collaborations to bring new facets to both the gaming experience and songwriting exposure. These collaborations will create an even more dynamic and expansive environment for people to discover, watch, and interact with the songwriters. Like, it doesn't mean anything. All this means is that you're still gonna get fucking banned. You're just gonna get a warning now, and they're still gonna take down the VOD. It's not like this is not big news on Twitch's side. Like,
no,
this is the same shit. They just made it now where it's like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna give you a warning.
It's a public face because they're getting ridiculed right now because they're not doing anything about it, right? A lot of people are pissed off because Twitch is not.
Yeah, they're trying.
Really?
Well, it's quotes it on here. They said that the Twitch continue like from the what is this, the NMPA, which I don't even know is a fucking thing. Says that Twitch continues to turn a blind eye to the same users violating the law while pocketing the proceeds of massive unlicensed uses of record music. Guys, for fuck's sake, man, it's 2021. Are people, this is like telling me that there is a large community of people out there that are still listening to cassettes. Like, who is going and being like, you know what, I'm going to listen to Twitch because that's where I want to get my music from. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. It's dumb. Twitch, pay your fucking fees. Go, just pay them.
Do what Facebook did.
Yeah.
Literally.
Just pay it. Just pay the thing. Quit being fucking cheap.
They won't, though.
Christ. Yeah. So that's the Twitch news. I mean, it's guys, just, it is what it is. It's a stupid public facing bullshit that they're trying to be like, hey, we're
doing something.
Yeah. We're not doing what we need. So, it's dumb. But yeah, so that's Twitch stuff. Other than that, there was nothing really big in the YouTube world. I don't think anything else really massive happened. Except for, there was a streamer that blew up because she started speed dating her fans.
Speed dating?
Huh? What is speed dating?
What is speed dating?
Well, if you take that man bun out, you'd be able to do it. So speed dating.
So you can't grow any hair on the top of your head, old man.
Oh, I've got more hair. No, we're gonna just stop. We're not gonna keep going.
That. Yeah,
we're just gonna stop. So speed dating. The streamer speed dating is basically where you like have it's like chat roulette. Have you ever seen chat roulette?
Oh wait, I think I've seen it before.
It's just like where like random people come into the channel and like it's in a video forum and basically they're like, okay, you have 30 seconds.
Like an online thing though.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she dated her fans, but then and this is the crazy thing. So people are getting banned for DMCA and music, but this chick is able to go and like talk about some super, super sexual stuff that should not even be allowed on the platform, but it's okay. So yeah, it's I don't know, man. But anyway, that was.
Where do I sign up?
That was sure. Go ahead, man. Yeah. So moving on though, to what we've been playing. Whoa, what happened to the? Wait. Okay.
We lost a man.
We lost a man and your camera angle got cut off.
Wait,
So
guys,
yeah,
I'm
can
here.
you just stand up. Just stand up.
Here,
Yeah,
I'm still here.
all right. Well, now we're down 2 men. So this podcast is just getting better and better. All right, Scruff. You know what? What this needs to be turned into just a scuffed podcast. What do
I think we've had this before too.
what do you want to talk about?
Oh man,
Scruffy.
What should we talk about?
Yeah,
I mean, what's
Scruffy's falling.
I'm holding
I
on here,
can't.
man.
The problem is if I fix it. There we go. Oh, now he's back.
There we go.
I was to say if I fix it, it's just gonna fuck up when he comes back. So, guys, this is why you want to be here live. Like this is the shit that you get to see live. Enigma, are you there? Are you back?
Power went out and fucked up my microphone. Apparently,
You are not wrong about that. You are super quiet.
Very quiet.
So, we'll let you fix that while me and Scruff talk about the games that we've been playing. So,
Sure, let's do it.
So Scruff, I'm actually gonna start off with you.
Cool.
You were playing what is it called? Arborea?
Arborea.
Arborea.
Yeah.
What is Arborea?
So Arborea is a roguelite, where you're pretty much like this troll race, and it's a very similar thing you see in a lot of games. They have like their tree of life. I feel like we've seen the tree of life in so many games recently. I don't know why, but it's pretty much their god that they're devout to. But coming into it, you have like some rebellious like trolls that are going against the god, and pretty much your mission is to go down into like the depths of Dunrar, I think it's called, which is their kind of civilization, and pretty much seek out and eliminate these. Like that guy is the guy who's rebelling as he's pissing on one of their shrines. But so it's a roguelike, and it's really kind of, what is it called, like cosmic horror vibes almost, like it's got a lot of like just weird kind of insect like creatures that you're going up against, and if you skip a little bit further into it, kind of see like the combat and whatnot being very similar to, honestly in my eyes, it feels kind of similar to like a Dark Souls-esque. It's very like dodge oriented and roll oriented, and also kind of like Remnant almost. But I don't know, it's really cool. Let me see on Steam. I think it's at a $20 price point. And so it also, you have like your main weapons called mutations. Pretty much your weapons in this game, literally you mutate into like them. So like your hand turns into like an axe or a lance, or like a sledgehammer. There's like so many different variants of weapons. It's actually pretty crazy. And then you also are equipped with like these cybernetic powers or something like that, where you can have like ground slam, teleport, or any sorts of like different powers. And pretty much you go into the runs, and since it is like a roguelite, there is like a constant progression. So going into the runs, you get further and further every time, and your main goal is to like bring back the tree of life and resurrect each of the roots of the tree of life, and gathering and resurrecting each of the roots is kind of your way of upgrading your main kind of hub. So the more roots you have, the more things you unlock, as well as collecting points to unlock like new skills and traits. And every time you die, you actually spawn as a new character who has like a whole random roll of like traits or kind of like stats and everything. So I don't know, it's really cool, and there's a lot to it. Like I came into the game not expecting there to be so much to it. Like I thought it was just gonna be your generic like run in, gather stuff, and like die roguelike. But there's actually a lot more to it than I thought there was. It's pretty crazy.
Huh. It looks cool. I mean, roguelikes are my thing. Like, obviously it's one of my genres I really enjoy. I'm always wary though of like that kind of third person over the shoulder games that are not like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, because I feel like I don't know, man. There's a certain amount of jank that can happen with those. This is an indie dev, right?
This is an indie dev. Dream Plant is the developer, and this looks like their first game. Yeah. I don't think they've made anything else.
Huh.
Are we back, fellas?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Are you?
I mean, you're.
Yeah,
Yeah. We're fine, except for the fact that like I can't figure out why Scruffy's image is frozen whenever I'm looking at the video.
Oh.
So I don't know, man. Look, we're just gonna roll with it tonight. It's just all fucked, so it doesn't matter. I mean,
that's on his end, bro, not yours.
Am I frozen?
No. I think
no. It's on my end. Like it's something with this, like OBS. Like it's just not wanting to.
Right. It's all sorts of
volume all good now though. For we good?
Sure. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you'll know in post. I mean, I can hear you fine.
Do I need to boost it or?
I don't know. You know, and
you sound fine to me.
Okay.
But
as long as you guys can hear me, and as long as everybody else on the podcast can hear me, we're good.
Yeah. So it's cool. How far into the game are you right now?
So I've only done around like 5 or so runs. The first run I had was like my longest too. Like it definitely scaled. I feel like I think the first run was a little like it kind of was still teaching you and like made it easy, because after that, oh my god, like the enemies and like everything, I feel like got so much harder.
Did that dude just put on the sorting hat and go?
That's what I was gonna say, dude. It looked like he was putting on the hat from Harry Potter.
Literally was like, I choose Gryffindor.
But yeah, and that is the hat that like turns you evil or something like that. So pretty much like.
So he went Slytherin.
Yeah.
Well, so he has no problem being a bad guy then.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I've only, I think, got to the first boss. I beat the first boss, and then I got to like the second level and or layer or whatever it was of this like cave dungeon, and I ended up dying. So
I watched you playing this the other night. It looked fucking weird. I was.
Oh,
like,
don't get me wrong. It is very weird.
I was like, what the hell is he playing, dude?
Your currency in this game too. Funny thing that I love the attention to detail is called Vera, and it's that blue crystal. And the way you the more Vera you collect, it goes into your fairy. Like your fairy holds it for you, and the more you have, the fatter the fairy gets.
Oh god!
So literally, she becomes like a chunky little fairy following you around.
Chubby bunny.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very weird. But I definitely think it actually feels really, really polished for more than I thought it was. I thought it was going to feel jank because it looks jank, but it actually isn't. It actually feels like really responsive, and like your weapons and everything and your abilities have like a good amount of weight to them. So it's not bad. Pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah. So Arborea, $20 on Steam. Just released.
Nice.
A couple weeks ago. So
yeah, I don't know what's going on with OBS and like why it's not wanting to do what we want it to do, but it's no big deal. We're just gonna keep rolling. Like I said, this entire podcast is gonna be fucking scuffed. So welcome to the show, guys. All right, so moving on. Wait, is there multiplayer in that game, or is it just single player?
Just single player, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on to the next one. So if you have been following my channel, it's I've been playing Deathloop. I was back and forth on whether or not I wanted to actually pick this game up, as it is a full price $60 game.
When he says back and forth, he means like legitimately back and forth. He was like, "Bro, should I play this Enigma?" And I'm like, "I wouldn't." Oh yeah, you're right. There's only like 10 more days until fucking New World comes out. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, no, I'm not gonna get it the next day. Hey, I'm gonna get this. Hey, should I get this? No, I wouldn't, dude. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. New World's coming out. You're right, dude. I'm not gonna pick it up. No, I'm good. Next day, I picked it up.
Yeah. So
literally how it went.
Here's the thing. I am happy I picked it up. I am happy with the decision that I made. Here's the caveat with it, right? One, if it is an Arcane game. So it's when I say it's an Arcane game, that's the publisher. It is made by the same people that made Dishonored and Prey, the newer ones. And the concept behind it is essentially you are playing, and I'm not going to give too much away because people are planning on playing it, and I'm still going through it, and I don't want to spoil anything, but basically the whole thing behind it is that you are playing as this character named Colt, who is essentially stuck in what is basically the easiest way to call it is a Groundhog Day, right? So like you're reliving the same day over and over and over again. And the point that you are basically going to do is you kind of look at like you're an assassin. You're going to kill off 8 visionaries to try to what's called break the loop and stop, basically this kind of concept of like controlling the world, controlling all of this stuff and doing all these things, typical bad guy or whatever. And stop it from happening. I'm going to fast forward because I spend like a good fucking 15 minutes just trying to get up to this stupid little spot. It is very much, people in chat are saying like it looks very Dishonored. It plays a lot like Dishonored in a lot of ways, but the cool thing about it that I love about this game is it adds a lot of elements because of the whole like dying, coming back, replaying the same level. So like this level that you're actually seeing me on right now, I'm in a hangar and I'm trying to get through, and to kill this one person. I'd actually been here before and replayed this level. So there's about 4 or 5 levels that you basically continue to cycle through, whether it's a day or night cycle, whether you're playing through it again with different powers. But I couldn't go through and actually do the mission fully because I didn't have one of the abilities that I needed, which was the warp ability, the blink ability that you're seeing here. But now that I had the blink ability, I could go back in, re-go and play that mission. But I have found out more information, which unlocks more parts of the map, which gives me access to new sections because I went and played the other places. And there's no like discerning linear path that you have to take. They even inside, and I'm not just talking about like inside the each map. I'm talking about like the actual game. You could be like, you know what, I want to go track this mission and get this mission done to get this, power. And then I want to come and I want to, play this mission to make this, it easier or whatever. They give you a lot of free roam. In fact, I think they give you more free roam ability in this than what they do in Dishonored and Prey. Dishonored was, I never played Dishonored 2, but Dishonored was very much like, not linear in the sense like
very on rails.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah. Sure. You are going to have to boost yourself, by the way, Enigma. You are pretty quiet for me, so I imagine it'll be horrible in post. But in any case, this is not really on rails for the most part. Like if you're good enough, you can get to the places that you want, and they give you a lot of freedom on like how you want to play it. Like you can play it stealthy, you can play it super like aggro. I basically go and try to play stealthy until I get to a certain point, and then if I get found out, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go aggro.
It's the same thing that they did with Dishonored as well, though. It's like if you didn't want to go stealthy, you could just fucking go balls to the walls. You obviously were gonna die very easily, but
yeah. Well, and this is no different. So the cool thing about this though is that they let you, like in a lot of games that are like this, and this is also technically quote unquote classified as a roguelike in a way because of the fact that, which I don't know if I agree or disagree with that, but what I will say, the reason they classify it that way is because whenever you go into the world, each time that you go in, there will be different things that'll happen. Different people will be different patrolling in different areas, and stuff like that. And you're replaying the same levels over and over again. That's about it that they pull from like the roguelike elements. But what they do, which is amazing, is that they basically fix the issue of save scumming because you are able to die 3 times. And once you die, you are warped back a little bit, and then you can go in and basically go, okay, I fucked up. How do I like fix this and whatever else? Once you die 3 times, the round is over. The day progresses. So like if you're in a mission that is you need to be during the afternoon and you died, it progresses the day forward. So now you can't go get that mission done. You got to go to do a different mission at a different time, or you can basically progress the day. But here's the kicker: once you get to the end of the day, that's it. Like once you get to evening and it goes back to the beginning of it loops everything that you brought with you. If you didn't infuse it, if you didn't spend money and currency, which you get, which called it's called residum. If you didn't get residum to infuse the weapon, which is the currency in the game, to basically ensure your stuff, it's gone. You don't get it back because the whole world looped and now it's back to square one, right? So there's a lot of like choosing your build. How do I want to do this? What do I want to infuse? What do I not want to infuse? And if you leave a weapon behind that has like perks on it, that weapon's gone. Like, and those perks are gone with it. The other cool element to it is the multiplayer aspect. So this is a co-op or a PvP based game as well, if you choose to turn it on. And the PvP element, and I'm going to fast forward to it here, is when you play as Juliana. So Juliana is essentially the antagonist of the game. And what she does, and this is the character I'm playing now, The antagonist of the game essentially is there to stop Colt from completing the mission. So if you turn off the PvP aspect of it, it stops a real person from entering your game, and it pushes an AI character into it. If you choose to leave the AI or the PvP turned on, a real person will jump into your game and they can fuck with you.
Okay, I was wondering that. So if you don't have the PvP on, there's still this Juliana or whatever who pops into your game to try to kill you in missions.
Yes, you'll still see Juliana show up.
Okay,
I'm trying to get to a spot where I see them. Yeah, so Juliana will still show up regardless. The cool thing about this is like, if you play as Juliana, you're basically just going in to hunt Colt. Like that's your main purpose, right? And then to level up. And then as you level up, you get perks and you get things like that. Now you can loot the world, you can go and grab guns and things like that may be out there and may be around. But it's really about setting traps and playing kind of this cat and mouse game while you're hunting down, Colt. If you play as Colt and a Juliana comes into your world, whatever Juliana brought and is using at the time, like is equipped with. So not like all of her weapons, but whatever she is primarily using at that moment, whatever slab she's got, which is like her special powers, you get to keep. So if you kill her, you get to keep it. Which is really cool. There is some downsides, and we experienced this yesterday where like you can get into a situation because there's no time limit. Like this Colt, they escaped, so my round was over. So I didn't get to really do much. But if the Colt decides that they just want to chill and hang out or whatever else, you could literally sit for like 15-20 minutes. Because
do we ever find out if you leave, if you keep your points or anything like that?
I didn't. I haven't left yet. Yeah, so I don't know. But when it does work and it works and it functions the way it's supposed to, which is basically, a Colt playing smart, you as Juliana playing smart, setting up traps, doing things, it's a lot of fun. Like the very last match we played was really fun, right? I felt bad for the guy, but it was really fun. Like, he was actively trying to go and get, the mission done. And the other thing too, is like, whenever you invade their world, it sets an objective that they have to complete to even get out. So like, there's a thing that spawns basically that blocks off the tunnels. And that's the only way that Colt can exit the map. And if he doesn't hack that terminal, he can't complete the mission. He can't get out. So you as Juliana are basically saying, hey, I'm going to hold down this spot. I'm going to protect this area because that's one spot I know he has to come to, or they have to come to be able to get it to complete the mission. After that, if they hack it, then it's free reign. They can go wherever they want. They can do whatever they want, which I mean, they can do anyway, but like, you don't know where they're going to be at. But it's a cool element. It's a fun game. Is it worth $60? Personally, I would say no. I don't think it's worth $60. I was able to get it on discount. But if you're a fan of the arcade games, if you are a fan of like Dishonored, and Prey and stuff like that, like it's really fun. The fucking voice acting in this game is so good. The voice lines and writing are so good. Like it's just
the writing, especially for Colt.
Oh my God. It's awesome. Great. It's so good. And like I will say, and then I'm gonna shut up about this and open it up to you guys to being able to ask questions, but like, I've not had a game that has made me laugh this hard over just like a moment that happened in it. So I was doing one of my missions as Colt, and I was trying to kill off this one guy, and like I was going stealthy about it. I was just trying to like not like alert everybody, get in, and get the mission done and whatever. So I warp up to this door in this room, or I warp up to this room. And I go over and climb into a window being like, oh, this is easy. Like no one's here. And then out of nowhere, you just hear boom, 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 like, which is the sound, like this noise that like all of, like, if you get alerted, then everybody knows. And I happened to just climb into a window where there was like 5 people staring at me. And I'm like, well, this is fucking awkward. And so I had to like murder all of them and then jump out. And dude, it's just the stuff that ensues in this game is hilarious. But it's a good time. It's fun. I'm having a blast with it. I'm so happy I picked it up. It's different. It's a different element to, these kind of missions. I love the whole like time looping mechanic. There's loot as you're seeing different weapons that you can pick up that have different like abilities and different powers. There's builds. It's I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it.
I think it would be really cool if they added like other game modes you could do too.
Yeah.
With I don't know. I think like a hide and seek game mode would be actually really fun in this game.
Yeah.
Like you already pretty much play like hide and seek almost, but there's a mission.
The part that really that I kind of liked when I was watching you play it, and even when I was watching Tony play it, was the Juliana or whatever her name is has like this ability or this like device that she can like take over people's appearances or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brought me back to old school Assassin's Creed, Assassin versus Assassin, where you could take on the guise of an NPC and kind of blend into the crowds. And like that's what I would personally be doing when I'm doing this, is like I would take over an NPC and just like chill and look like an NPC as much as I could, just to get him, lull him into a false sense of false sense of security.
Yeah, the only problem I have with it though is that whenever you take on that person, it makes that other person Juliana. So the problem there is that like they don't act normal, like they don't act like what you would be, what a character would be. Like I just wish it would let you take on the persona of that person and just be able to walk
copy
around
it and just keep walking.
Yeah. So instead of like swapping the two roles,
it's kind of weird that like it carbon copies you onto the other one. I don't know why they chose to go that route. But.
Yeah, it's very, very, very odd.
AVA in Assassin's Creed was fucking amazing though. Like if you were good at like acting like a dumb AI, you could go far in that game mode.
Yeah, no, 100%. And there's the cool thing too about it too is like there's a lot of different slabs or powers that you get, so like you can really kind of switch it up. And I do think having different game modes. I also think like they need to add a timer element to 100%. It.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially I think like once you kill somebody, like if I kill Colt, like there needs to be a timer for when he can come back to get his stuff, to make it being like, oh fuck, I need to go get that shit. I need to go get it now, right? And it doesn't have to be a short timer. It can be a longer timer. But like this match, that we're watching here, this match lasted for like a good solid, had to be like 10, 15 minutes of me just like trying to hunt this dude down.
What exactly do you lose when you die? Like your guns and your slabs?
Cole loses everything.
So Colt,
you as Juliana lose nothing.
Yeah. So,
Colt.
So Colt loses anything that he didn't ensure. He also loses the progress for that mission. So like I said, if you die, then that mission is done, the day progresses, and now that mission won't be able to you'll have to like wait to do that mission again. Or
that was my biggest issue with it, was like I personally, and we were talking about this a little bit in your stream last night, like I personally feel there's no real incentive for Coles to other than the fact that you get whatever gear Juliana was carrying, which is a good thing. It's like you said, if you would have been killed on that last one, he would have gotten that legendary sniper, which is great. But the risk versus reward, I don't think, is there, right? Like you're risking a lot to open your game up to PvP, whereas Juliana is risking nothing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think so. I think the way that they could fix that is, I think, adding a de-leveling element to Juliana, to where like if she dies, she's losing XP, she's losing certain things. Because
there just needs to be some form of like risk versus reward for Juliana as well, because when it comes down to it, and you already saw it, like there's not a lot of people that are queuing up for PvP in the first place in this game. Like your matchmaking times were hella long in some cases on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't see Colt having any real, like there's no reason to really pop up for PvP. Like
I mean, it's like I keep it on because I think it to me, like the way I look at it, it adds an element of like, oh fuck, like especially when you go into a mission, because the AI in the game is not the brightest. Like and they make no qualms about saying why. Like the Eternalists, which are like the NPCs that are roaming around, they're supposed to just be like blithering idiots, because they're basically reliving the same day over and over and over again, but they know that they're reliving that same day over and over and over again. They're kind of like, well, what's the fucking point? Like, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. Like they're like, some of them are getting drunk. Some of them are passing out. Like people are bitching about back pain. Like
I like the one guy that's like sitting on a cliffside playing guitar. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, like they're basically like, fuck this, and they're aware that they're living the same day over and over and over again. So they're just kind of like, whatever, we don't give a shit. We're cannon fodder, and even if we die, we're coming back. So it's like, okay. But like Juliana, the AI that I faced against Juliana was not that great either. So like that is a definite like negative, and so I keep it on because I'm like, okay, I want to have some type of like challenge with it, and there's no. One of the big qualms about this game is that there's no difficulty slider. So like it's on the difficulty, and it does ramp up. Like I have played this game, and I am, I'm good at like, getting in, setting traps, like getting around, moving around, all that kind of stuff. And I have died multiple times. So like it ramps pretty quickly. So for Colt, it is a situation of like, you are definitely sometimes at a huge disadvantage. The problem that I see is like, once you beat the game, what is the purpose for like the PvP dies at that point? Because like once I beat it, unless I'm someone that's just going to like try to min max. And then at that point, like, do I really want to face them as either a Juliana or a Colt? Like it becomes a situation of like, all right, well, your PvP is dead. So the longer that this game goes on and is out, the fewer and fewer PvP matches I see happening.
Yeah, that's why I think they should add more like game modes and more stuff to do with the PvP.
Well, it's like in Dark Souls. Like Dark Souls right now, the invasion system doesn't seem to be all that prevalent anymore, right? Like I'm not entirely sure, but it did last a while, and I do occasionally when I watch like streams of it, I do occasionally see invasions going on. But that community in general is so small these days.
It's definitely niche. Yeah,
there's not really all that much going on, anyways. I just see this. I just see this game going down that same route, and if they don't incentivize PvP more, where you're incentivizing people to turn that on, like I think the best way that they could do it really is incentivize people to turn it on, is like give you better loot drop, like better rarity drop scores, right? Or something along those lines. There needs to be some form of incentivization for Coles to turn that on, because they're risking pretty much everything unless, like you said, they insure it. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Whereas Juliana, literally, she can fucking die and load up and do the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean they do speak to that, and I mentioned this yesterday, but as to why they allow like Juliana to do it, I don't know if, and Enigma, you were kind of talking about it not being necessarily a valid reason, and I don't think it's a valid enough reason, but like basically the purpose there is that Juliana's main purpose in all of this is to be that person that is essentially always hunting you down and constantly coming after you.
To me, that's a cop out. To me, that's it was our art that Juliana needed to be this or that and in between, and I think that's a big cop out. They could have explained it away a little bit better than that.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing. I mean, I'll say is like the game is fun. Like it is a very fun game to play.
I'm not saying that the game is not fun, and I'm not saying that the PvP does not look interesting, because I think it does look interesting. I just think that they need to. I don't think it was thought out all the way.
Yeah, they need to flesh it out a little bit more.
I think it was like maybe an additive in later on where they were like, oh shit, what would be awesome in this game? I know that we're like 3 months from release, but let's add in PvP.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I mean, it's like I said, is it worth $60? No. I think realistically it's probably like I would say 40. I think that there are some graphical issues, but what game doesn't come out nowadays that have some kind of weird issue? But I mean, all in all, like from a complete standpoint of like what it feels like, how good it is, how well the maps are done, the mission, the layout, and just being different, right? Like this is not something that we get all the time, where they are doing something a little bit on the different side of things. It's a fun game, man. It's a blast. I'm having a blast with it. If you can, like I said, if you want to play, if you love Dishonored, jump in. You're going to enjoy this, and it may be worth $60 to you. I think you could probably get $60 worth of value out of it. There's plenty to do.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
But $60 games now is a very hard pill to swallow, and so, but anyway, that's definitely, we talked a lot about it, but
cool.
Yeah, it's a fun time. I think we can go pretty quick on this one, but Valheim, Scruff, you've been playing the new, and Enigma, you've been playing the new update, right?
Yeah, me and Enigma have been playing the new update. The video that you guys are going to see on stream is not much to really show of the update, as it's really just me building. But I mean, you know more about really what the new updates kind of included, Enigma. I know there was a new food system that you probably know a bit more about.
So the biggest problem that we have and a lot of the Valheim community has with this update is like, yeah, it's an update. We finally got an update after literally 7 to 8 months worth of nothing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the update, there's not a whole hell of a lot to it, right? I was reading. I found it funny. I was reading an article from, I believe, PC Gamer today, where the article author was saying, oh well, you know, gamers these days are entitled and they just want, you know, pay to go, or like games as a service for every game. You know, you can't have a game like this and have it just go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? And I'm like, no, that's factually inaccurate, because Ark and a lot of the other survival games that are out these days, they're not really built as a games as a service, and they're still going strong years and years and years and years after they've released. So there is a very factual point where you could say, yeah, this was not done to an extent that, like, it was almost a year worth of development time for maybe a handful of new building blocks, you know, building material, a new blocking system, which isn't really new. It's just they kind of built upon what they already had.
Isn't this? It's still in early access, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still early access. Yeah,
and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, this is my first time jumping into the game. I mean, the game came out with a lot of content, which is great.
100%. Yeah,
but
I will give it to them, and we've talked about this a couple of times on the podcast. You know, I do believe that what they released to begin with was enough
to last
release.
a while.
Yeah, it was enough for what their release was, and the fact that they only had like 5 people on the development team, like, it was a lot.
Yeah, I think they were banking on that lasting too long.
Yeah.
You know, because like a year without any sort of update, content wise, is too long for, I think, any game.
Yeah,
if it is a games
almost
of
a year of just nothing is definitely one of those things where it's like, it's a hard pill to swallow for any gamer, in my opinion, personally.
What do you think?
But,
sorry.
I was about to say, I was just gonna go over the what the update added as well. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, do that, because my question pertains into the update.
Okay, so yeah, they completely rehauled the blocking system, basically, which I would argue it wasn't really a rehaul. It was just kind of a slight tweak to go alongside their food system, which they did a complete rehaul on the foods. Prior to now, they had just kind of foods that just kind of buffed everything. They had foods that buffed health, stamina, and everything like that. Right now, they actually have catered foods, and they want you to choose like a specific, almost like a specific gameplay style with your foods that you eat. So they have health foods that are for tanks. They have stamina foods that are for like archers or rogues type characters with knives and everything like that. And then they have kind of like a mix of them, but like the mix still isn't very good, and that's for like people that want to do like building and crafting and stuff like that. So on top of that, like I said, they added in like a handful. I think I want to say it's like 20 or 30 new building blocks, if that.
Most of it seems more cosmetic, which
it
is
is.
cool,
A lot of it's more cosmetic. It's like new roof tiles. I think there's a bathtub. I think there's a couple new
hey, we can have a hot tub meta in
like interior items like couches and shit. So it added in a few like quality of life items, but
I mean, hey man,
in reality, it didn't add in a lot.
Sims makes a shit ton of money by adding that kind of crap in.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's good stuff to be added in, but for waiting a whole year, that's not. That's too much time.
My question was going to be, and it's kind of is brought up during in chat, but you know, do you think that if they had not mentioned, like, made a big deal, because they kind of on their own hyped out this like, oh, Hearth and Home, update, they talked quite a bit about it. Do you think if they had not mentioned it as much and just kind of like just did an update and was like, hey, we added a bunch of new stuff, do you think it would have been more received in a better way?
No, I don't think so.
Actually, I think so. Actually, yeah, because the problem with a lot of people have with it is the fact that they announced Hearth and Home literally like 2 weeks after they released the game. Like it was on their roadmap, like legitimately like a week or two after they released the game.
Yeah, but I think that letting the people know what was going to be added, obviously, like they hyped it up and were like, well, why why are you hyping this up? I mean,
Well,
it's not
I wouldn't
it's nothing
even
great.
necessarily say that they hyped up Hearth and Home, right? It's just the fact that they had it on the roadmap from the start that people got a little pissy about it, because it's like, again, that's 7 months. That's close to a year worth of, hey, we're gonna do, hey, we have Hearth and Home on the roadmap. Don't know
Yeah.
when it's gonna come out though.
I don't know. I see it as like if they released this without people having any knowledge of what it was going to be, they would have been let down even more. With us going into it and knowing what was going to be, I think we, you know,
Well, I
we
don't think
weren't
I think
as let down.
They didn't announce it.
well,
Though.
that's the
Like,
thing. I don't think
Hearth and Home they never announced exactly what we were going to get out of.
right.
Hearth and
I
Home.
think
That was
that's the what I'm saying. Like the difference here is, and I
We
agree
got
with
knowledge of it like a month or two ago, right?
like a
Of
month or
what,
two ago, but
yeah,
yeah, 7 months ago we never actually knew.
yeah.
What Hearth and
So-
Home
I'm
was
not
gonna
saying
be.
like the initial like they didn't let everyone know immediately, but
Yeah.
I think with a month or two of knowledge of us knowing what was going to be, we're like, oh, so this isn't really shaping up to be, exactly the huge update we all wanted.
That's what I'm saying is like, do you think that if they would have, so here's an example, right? Last Epoch, we have been waiting for Last Epoch's multiplayer for almost a year and a half now, right? They have talked about the multiplayer for a year and a half and it being something there. If Last Epoch's multiplayer comes out and it's scuffed and it's not anything but almost perfect, right? Realistically, it's going to be, people are going to be pissed, right?
Oh, yeah, internet's gonna rage.
Whereas I think if they would have just been like, not mentioned anything about multiplayer and just being like, hey guys, we're focusing on the game, and then been developing it and then been like, oh, hey, by the way, we dropped multiplayer. It's available. And it was somewhat scuffed. I think people would have been more accepting or would be more accepting. With this, I feel like the update, like, because I remember Enigma talking about this update and being like, yo, this update's coming. It's, and the expectation was that it was going to be bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
I was expecting to go into it seeing something different. And when I went in, I was like, oh, I can add coins to my fucking, like,
Pretty much.
okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I just deleted my world.
It was very well. You deleted your world.
I know. I'm just saying.
Don't fucking.
No.
You
I'm
deleted my
not.
lines, bro.
I'm not. I'm just saying that I did. Like, I deleted the world because I was said like, hey, you need to start a new world. To be able to take effect with all this stuff, or whatever else. But I'm just saying, like, as was something like that happening, it was just kind of like, this was not worth me deleting that. And I'm not saying you had to delete it. I'm just saying I did. If I would have gotten more stuff, I'd be like, okay, cool. It's worth me deleting, the world for it.
No, I agree with it. I think that I definitely think that they, granted, and again, we had COVID this year, so I'm sure that affected like their actual development time on the update, right? Because again, it is only a group of 5 people. Like I give them a lot of props because they built this amazing fucking Viking simulator with 5 people.
Yeah.
And it released in the state that it released in with as much content as it released in. I give them props completely for that, because that's a hard thing to do in today's day and age, right? To release a game that's good with 5 people, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's and
like studios with like 60 people working on the game still struggle to release a game that's actually decent.
Well, and all of this being said, right? We're not saying that Valheim is not a good game. It's just, this game is amazing. And again, it's very relaxing. You can get lost into whatever you want. If you want to make it a combat game, and you want to be
building.
I mean, like Scruff makes these fucking crazy ass things. I make a church. Like, that was what I made. Enigma makes like these fucking crazy builds. And you can do that, or you can go out and become your own like fucking Viking world master and terraform the goddamn environment and all of this stuff. Like, it's craziest of the shit that you can do. In it. It's a very good game in its own right, and probably one of the most fledged out of these survival games that's in early access than most. Most games that are in early access that are survival games are usually shit. Most games that are full content and released in survival games are kind of shit. This game is not that. It's it is a very good game in its own.
Yeah, they've definitely done a good job with it. I just hope that they take what they've learned from these past 7 months and they kind of expedite more updates for it, because I think this game could be fucking amazing. I think it could be on par with like Ark and on par with like what's the Conan Exiles. I think it could be a very, very successful survival game if they just put a little bit of effort into it.
And so you guys, they do have mod support, right? That is something
They do
that,
have mod support. Yes.
so I mean,
That is
already with that,
one thing that's saving them is the fact
that
they have
will save
mods.
any game like this is mod support. People will go crazy over that.
The thing
So
that cracks me up is that like the mods for this last update, legitimately the most successful and popular mod out there on the mod sources is them rebalancing.
I was to say it rebalances their fucking update.
Oh,
Like,
that's that's any Bethesda game. You'll always have the modders fixing the fucking mistakes that the devs make.
Yeah.
So it's a good time, man. Like it really is. I'm looking forward to seeing more from them. I hope that we see. I know that we're getting a new biome. The Mistlands biome is coming out someday. I don't know when, but someday.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see more from them when it comes to like more bosses. I'm hoping to see more from them when it comes to like more weapons. They did add in a couple new weapons, which is nice. But
Bosses, dude,
again, I just
imagine
think
going to different freaking like worlds like Asgard and shit.
that's the thing is like
That'll be
if
sweet.
you zoom out in the map,
Yeah.
the worlds, like if you zoom all the way out on the world, like there's an entire universe out there, like there's space and everything around it. And I'm hoping that that's what they do is they add in like
there's already
like
portals,
Alfheim, and they add in like Asgard and everything like that. So
Yeah.
that'll be
Well,
cool.
the cool thing about it is like with a studio that's like this, that is small. This is their baby. This is their dedication project. They're not working on a whole bunch of other shit. As long as they don't go down the route of some of these other companies that are like, oh, well, we're just gonna cash in, which they don't seem like they are. You know,
I mean, they bought a horse.
They did buy a horse.
Okay.
So you know,
I mean, I
their
think they could spend some money on a
celebration,
horse. Like,
yeah, there is that, I guess.
That's fine. I think we're okay with them buying a horse. Like,
it didn't make any sense to me. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
I don't see the
sounds cool, bro.
prioritizing a horse, but you know, to each their own.
yeah, whatever, man. They wanted a horse. Let them have a horse.
Oh, shit.
Maybe they bought the horse so they can mocap the horse so they can bring it into the game.
That's what I was about to say. Is like a lot of people were saying, oh, well, maybe they bought the horse because they're gonna give us they're gonna give us mounts in the game.
Well, they did give a mount, right?
Yeah, I was about to say they did give us a mount in this one. You can now tame and ride the Loraxes. I don't know what the fuck their actual name is.
Let me mount a troll, bro. I need to mount and ride a troll. Like, so
put me on like a pedestal of like 5 like gray dwarfs carrying
them. Right. So like,
we'll see what they do. I'm interested to see where they go from here, and if it's going to be another like 7-month fucking wait. Because if it's going to be another like 7-year wait, then this game's going to die, unfortunately. I don't want that
with mod support. I don't know if it'll die.
Yeah,
I mean, it will go down. It will go down the route of.
It won't be on the spotlight as much as it is. It
will go down the route of most Bethesda games where it has a very niche player base.
And I need to make sure everyone knows this isn't a Bethesda game.
No, this is
this is not a
Bethesda a lot because of their jank and their mods and all that sort of stuff.
But yeah, so that's Valheim, guys. So
it's a good game. Like if you're looking for a good survival game and you want a cheap, I think it's like $20.
It's $20. Yeah.
And if you're looking for a decent survival game and you want something that's gonna keep, you can spend a lot of time with, like Valheim's a decent investment.
You're not frozen anymore, so
I'm back.
I don't know, man. I don't know why OBS is being weird. But yeah, so Valheim. All right, so moving on to the news section. Quite a bit of stuff. We're gonna run through some stuff pretty quickly. We're gonna spend some more time on some other things. I'm gonna go through the quick hit stuff now so we can get that out of the way and then kind of move on to the topics that we're gonna spend a little bit more.
We're speed dating these news.
Yeah, speed news, not nudes, not nudes, no nudes.
That's the podcast, pre-patch podcast after dark.
Yeah, that's the post podcast that's the post pre-patch podcast.
Pre-patch after dark, baby.
Yeah, a lot of PPs there.
Oh man, wow. All right, yeah, keep sucking on your fucking vodka. So I love the image that it froze on. It's great. Oh, that's perfect, dude. That's so good. Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
Red Solo Cup. Just fill me up. Oh my god.
I love this podcast, man.
Yeah,
this is
great. This is why I'm telling you, man, this is why you come here, guys. This is why you're here, is for this kind of shit. So yeah, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I brought this up because this game kind of came out of nowhere. And it has like made some massive waves in the kind of gaming world. If you're,
I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere though. I mean, there's been a lot of hype for this game since
when I mean came out of nowhere, I mean like it's not been like
I think
been blasted like your Overwatches, like your
that's
or other
true.
games.
I think it definitely surprised many people more than like it was going to, because it looked like a beautiful game, but I think everyone was like even more shocked with like how good it is.
Well, it's the thing is, it was in a showcase. It was in the PS5 showcase. It's like, this is a PS5 console exclusive. It is on PC. Yeah. You can get it from the Epic Store. Yep, I was about to say Q Enigmas. But the thing about this game, right, is that it's made by Ember Labs. This is Ember Labs' only game. This is their first game, and it is a small development team. And when I'm telling you guys that this game is pretty much perfect, it's pretty much perfect. Like,
you're playing a Disney quality game, like movie.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, from like the voice acting to the movements to the animation to like everything. This is a game that you look at and go, okay, so hold on one sec. So we have teams at like Blizzard and Activision and EA and Bethesda
with this quality
that can't bring this kind of stuff, that has so much jank, it's busted and broken, but yet this developer of like 30 people or 20 people can bring out this. Like,
we're seeing that so much more today too, and I'm so happy that these indie devs are like putting this much passion into their work, because it shows.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally like, I was watching it and my kids came in and was like, "Oh, is that the new Disney movie?" And I'm like, "No, like this is not the next Pixar movie."
Yeah.
And granted, like you guys say the indie devs, they're funded by Sony. Like let's get that.
Okay,
let's be real here.
It's a small team though.
It's still a small ass team.
It's a small team, and it's their first game, but they had a lot of money behind them.
Yeah, but I'm not just specifically saying this game either. I mean, I'm just saying you've seen it more with a bunch of indie devs who are.
I'm saying
I agree with you, but that's all I wanted to point out is this was funded by Sony. So
I am saying that this game, with even still the funding, I guarantee. Like, dude, take a look at Call of Duty. Look at any massive game.
I'm not arguing with you, Sid. I'm just saying it was funded by Sony.
Look, we're getting too chummy on this show. We need some kind of fucking argument.
We need a fight.
Like, this is bullshit. No, it's. The thing about it is like this game has people are equating it to Breath of the Wild. It's not that. It is not a this open world style or whatever. It's not, Biomutant was another game that it was kind of compared to.
Honestly, weird saying this, and it's not the same style of game, but it reminded me of Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
I mean, it's kind of.
It gives me that vibes, but in like a Disney movie form.
I don't know if you guys are too young or whatever else, but do you guys remember Cameo? Do you know what Cameo is?
I know Cameo. I never played it.
Okay, so Cameo, this gives me like very Cameo vibes, where it's like, this kind of style of game where you're running around the forest, you're beating shit up, whatever else, or whatever. But the thing here, it is linear. Like it is linear in the sense of like Ori or Cameo. It reminds me very much of like Knack, of those PlayStation exclusive launch games that like you got and were like, oh, okay, or Xbox like launch games that were like, okay, cool, it's a story game, but it's really well done. That's what this is. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You can put hats on those little fucking rot things. Like, it's the cutesy, artsy fartsy kind of game that, does really, really well. Here's the other thing. It's $40. Like, it's priced.
It's not full price.
It's not full priced. It is 50. It's 50 for PlayStation. 40 for PC.
I was about to say they're not overpricing it on the PlayStation Store.
No, it's 50. It's 50 on or 45. I know it's more expensive. I think it's 50 on PlayStation. But I know it's 40 on there.
That's funny.
But anyway, it's a good game. I've been watching a lot of it. If you're in the market for a solo experience, there you go.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it off the fucking. Go and buy a $300 PlayStation.
Yeah.
Instead of buying it off the Epic Store.
Other quick hit news: Call of Duty hackers showed up in Vanguard, and they were ending the beta early.
And no one was surprised.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, no one was surprised. But the thing what I wanted to bring up is everyone was so mad when there was hackers in 2042 already, and then this has hackers, and like I just. It's gonna happen. I don't understand why people got so mad about 2042. And
me and Enigma said it. Me and Enigma were like, guys, this shit is gonna happen.
Yeah, regardless.
It happens on every single fucking multiplayer game, multiplayer shooter. Like, there's no way of getting around it.
There's no around it.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, like, they ended the beta. Like, they were ending the beta of the open beta was ending. Like, they found a way to hack it.
There was a lot of jank in that game too.
Oh, there was. Their attack dogs turned on the person that like called them in. So like, you would call them attack dogs, they'd go out and kill people, and then once they were done like killing whatever else, if you came around them, they'd kill you. So
wow, that's funny. They also, when I saw a weird glitch, the attack dogs literally, if you kill them, sometimes they'll like burst into like a just glitch out and spin around in a circle.
Yeah, it was the attack dog tornado.
There was yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Call of Duty, but they're gonna have their hacker problem fixed. Yeah, right. Bullshit.
You see Warzone.
Yeah. So another thing, there's a real life BioShock that was planned. And what I mean by this was basically a bunch of cryptocurrency.
You're gonna go through the rapture.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, the bunch of crypto miners were like, hey, we can spend our cryptocurrency and buy a $9.5 million, decommissioned yacht, sail it out into the middle of the ocean, and we're gonna have our own kind of like world out there, and like this is gonna be our own like little utopia. Couple problems. One,
somebody watched a bit too much Waterworld.
Yeah, I guess, but one. It's the ocean is not lawless. There are all laws on the fucking water and whatever else, and it's not like you can just like do whatever the fuck you want. That's not gonna happen. Two, you can't just float an ocean liner out there full of people and then be like, hey, we're gonna have our own thing. And three, anybody ever remember Firefest? That didn't work out too well, so I don't know why you'd want to do it on a fucking ocean liner. Like, the one place in the world I don't want to be stuck out and stranded with a bunch of fucking crypto miners is in the middle of the ocean. Just saying.
Wow.
So
that's funny.
Yeah. So that didn't happen. They nixed that idea pretty quickly. With that. Also, too, quick hint. We just found out about 3 hours ago that they are making a Super Mario animated movie. I'm gonna run through the list quickly with you. It's gonna come from the Illumination people, so the people that did Minions. Yeah, Minions. Yep. It's a Universal property. Which is not a shocker because Universal and Nintendo are in bed with each other. They Super Mario World or Land is over in Tokyo. They're bringing one to Orlando. It's a theme park, so it makes sense. Here's your cast, guys. Chris Pratt is going to be Mario. Anna Taylor-Joy is Peach, which that is the person from Queen's Gambit. Charlie Day is Luigi. I'm going to save the best for last. Keegan-Michael Key is Toad. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Fred Armisen is Cranky Kong. And no other than playing Bowser is Jack Black himself.
That's the thing that sells me right there.
Playing Bowser.
I think Jack Black will play a good Bowser. The rest of them,
yeah. Honestly, Jack Black sells anything for me. Like, that's why I'm still low-key excited for the Borderlands movie. And we seen like game movies and everything not do the best. There's been a few that are all right, but I don't know. With a good cast, I think it could be all right.
I think he sold me on Jumanji. Like, I liked Jumanji.
I was pleasantly surprised with the new rendition of Jumanji with him. So.
Yeah, but again, it's animated, guys.
We'll
so it's
animated.
It's not live action.
I would rather it animated.
I was pushed. The original news where I found out about it, they were saying it was going to be a live action. I was looking at it like Chris Pratt as Mario. What?
Yeah, I don't want a live action because the original live action is the best live action Super Mario Brothers you can ever have. And if you haven't watched that movie, you need to go watch it because it is amazing.
I don't know about that.
It is amazing in the way that all the Resident Evil movies are amazing. It's amazing in the way that Monster Hunter movie is amazing. It is that level of bad, and it's great.
No, you get the fuck out of here with that Monster Hunter shit.
Yeah. So moving on to our normal topics. Enigma, you picked up a VR headset.
I did.
What's your thoughts on it?
I did indeed. I picked up one of the new Quest VR, the Quest 2s with the 120 some odd gig storage space in it. And man, I'm having a blast. I did a test stream the other day. We're gonna try and do some VR stuff on the stream coming forward.
Ooh, nice.
And I think it's gonna work out really well. I'm looking forward to it. There's a couple of games I got that I really want to play. One of them is called Wrath of Asgard. Obviously,
isn't that Asgard's Wrath?
What's that? Asgard's Wrath. Yeah, that's what it is. My bad. My bad. But yeah, it's obviously Viking. You play as a god.
Surprise, surprise, Enigma getting into another Viking game.
You play as a fledgling god. I played a little bit of it the other day, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be so fucking amazing.
It looks cool. Yeah,
it does look fun. And there's a couple other things. And you have a quest as well, Sin. My buddy Ataxis has a quest. I think we're gonna try. I would like to try the demo game or whatever.
Demio?
At some point, Demio or whatever. Yeah.
It's a cool.
Is that the MMO?
No,
it's like a tabletop simulator.
Like a dungeon. It's like D&D kind of. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool. I might have to get one.
Well, and before you do, I just found out you can actually play Demio without a virtual headset.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to play it.
Maybe I gotta join.
I didn't. I actually didn't know that. I thought it was a virtual headset only, and I was looking at it the other night, and it came up with a Oculus or virtual headset or PC, and I was like, oh damn, dude.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
The better way to think about that is it's more like kind of like For the King, but with dice rolls. Element of it. But it's fun, man. I've played a little bit of it, and it's a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun, man. I've been playing a little bit of Orbis, which is a MMO. You say it's shitty.
I don't like it, bro.
I don't understand why you don't like it.
I don't know.
Everything that I have played, like, it's actually really fun. I think
you guys should play together. I mean, it's an MMO.
Yeah, you need to give it another try, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I played with my son. I was not a fan of it. But I mean, it doesn't cost anything, so it's worth
I mean, it does. It's a pay for. You have to.
You can do the first couple. You can do like
you can do up until 10.
Yeah,
I think
that's enough for me to figure out whether I'm gonna play it or not.
Yeah.
So.
It's fun, man. I've been enjoying it. The only problem that I have with it is I'm still trying to get my VR legs.
That's the thing.
I about threw the fuck up the first night that I got it.
I told you not to do that, man.
Ataxius had me put it on a locomotion.
No, bro, I told
you. Where you use the sticks, right? The analog sticks or whatever. I about threw the fuck up.
So the problem is that it's your camera is based on where you're looking, but your motion is based on your thumbsticks. So like the problem is that you'll be looking over here and moving, and it even though that's completely fine, right? Like how you would normally walk in VR, because it is such a smooth experience and there's no like you don't have like a bobbing and weaving of it. It fucks with you. And there's a lot of companies that are actually working on a way on adding that head bob movement to where that because that will fix a lot of those issues. In certain things.
I also found out that a lot of my problems were that my eye spacing wasn't correct.
Yeah,
there's a setting inside of your headset where there's like each person has a different spacing between their pupils, right? The center of your pupil is different from other people's, right? So I have like a 68 percent or whatever it's called, and I had mine on like the 2, and it was just barely there enough that I like whenever I would it doesn't give you enough sight line for it, so it messes with your head to an extent that's like like I said, like moving like two centimeters, I about threw the fuck up.
Yeah, it's rough. I bring this up because Netflix is launching a free VR game for Oculus.
I saw that.
And it's based on their anime series Eden Unearthed. So I think I don't know when this launches.
I think it's already launched. I saw it on the Quest home the other day.
Okay, it may have launched already. But it's supposedly, man, it's supposed to be really, really good, and this is kind of their first foray. Netflix has talked about doing are announcing some kind of video game.
Yeah, they want to do like Steam. Yeah, they want to do something like Steam where they have it's like a game development producer, not a game development, but like a
game
distribution center.
Yeah, they've already started, I think, tests with that in certain countries.
Dude, Stranger Things, I think they're like they could do some really cool shit, man. And Netflix has got the money, so and I think honestly, like I want more companies delving into VR in the proper way. We saw like EA did Medal of Honor and it was complete dog shit. I want companies that actually like give a fuck about VR to actually do it properly. Valve did a phenomenal job with Alex, whether you like it or not. I'm more of a Boneworks person, but
I still want to play Boneworks, man. That looks so fun.
Yeah. So, but no, it's cool. So that's a thing. We've got Splitgate is in the news again. So this is kind of crazy. Splitgate came out and they said that they want to be the next Fortnite. whether that's good or bad, but this comes because they just finished their last round of funding and they raised $100 million.
It's crazy, dude.
It is crazy.
That is a shit ton of money, for this game. Great props to them, man. Here's the thing. The game developers from this are some Bungie employees. They made, a shooter. And if you play it, it's fucking Halo. Like, it's old school Halo.
Halo Quake
meets Portal. And it's a really cool concept. I mean, the game really does have a lot of interesting elements. The problem is, one, the server can only hold like 1,000 people.
I think it's gotten a bit better. Is it still that?
I don't know.
Either way, it was rough when they blew up. Like they definitely had a lot of downtime.
The other side of it too is like they're, where I think they're starting to lean a little bit more into like the wacky, crazy, like skins, mods, bullshit. They should be focusing on like making sure that their game is tight and like runs smoothly and plays well and stuff like that.
I mean, they definitely got it right when they're going down the next Fortnite.
What I was about to say is like if they want to be the next Fortnite, focusing on the skins obviously is their first step.
So. So it's interesting because again, we have games like Halo and stuff like that and shooters. And what I will say is like, Halo coming out, Halo Infinite, this is really going to be the test as to whether or not Halo can sustain, in a post, battle royale world. And I think Splitgate has the opportunity to be something bigger, right? Because it does, like when I play Splitgate and when I've played Splitgate, it automatically right out of the gate, I'm like, this is fucking Halo. This is like my Halo days. Even the maps, some of the maps are like, this is fucking Halo, bro. Like, this is what I want. It feels good. It shoots well. The guns feel great. All this other kind of stuff. And then you add the portal element, which is like mind game section of it. Again, the problem is like there's a lot of other things. Like again, whether or not this game is going to be popular, I don't know. Bill, from his sick bed, I know is screaming saying this game is not going to do anything. It's just going to be a fucking blip on the map because again, it is one of these things where they pay streamers to go in, make this game popular, blow up, and then it falls to the wayside.
Last time I checked, it did only have like 1.3K on Twitch, which is nothing compared to a lot of the top tier games on Twitch right now.
Right,
but. One thing I'd like to say though is other than like other categories on Twitch, it's very like diversified and like each stream has around 30 viewers. There's not like just one big streamer carrying the category. It's all throughout, like everyone streaming it, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah,
it's got a good community at least like that.
I mean, look, games got to start somewhere, you know, and they raised $100 million. Someone saw the fucking something here,
potential,
right?
Something.
$100 million is nothing to bat your eye at. And it's, hey, look, man, like honest to God, the game is fun. It plays well. Like me and Scruffy played some matches. It plays well. It's fun. Yeah. It's a good time. Like, so, and it's free.
It's going to come down to what they decide to do with that amount of money.
Yeah. They need to put money in their servers, like 100%.
Yeah.
They need to put money in their servers. So, but it's
buy a horse.
It's a good time. Yeah, buy a horse.
I don't know. I watched you guys play it. I didn't think it looked impressive.
Yeah, but you're not a Halo fan. You don't like Halo, so that doesn't.
I mean,
I'm not going to say it's not anything crazy, but
it's not necessarily that it was.
It's
not necessarily that it was a Halo. It looked like Halo. It's just I don't think that it looks enjoyable. I think it's a fly by night. You're gonna play it a couple times, get your fix of it, and then just be like, all right, I'm done. I'm good.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
it depends on the fan, like the shooter fan that you are. Me personally, that is how it goes for me. But I burn out of games and I don't get too invested into too many shooters nowadays. I think it's got some longevity.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be the way I look at it is I look at the games that are like I don't want to say CS:GO and Rainbow Six because those communities are still fucking massive and they're huge, right? But like I think like your insurgencies, like your games that have their audience that they like, that enjoy it, that love it, that want it, that play it, like that's their audience, right? This is not going to be your Call of Duty. This is not going to be your Battlefield. This is not going to be something that you're going to see. Maybe you'll see main stage. I mean, fuck, you don't see CS:GO competitions main stage anymore. I mean, that doesn't really exist. Still, there are competitions that are multi-million dollars, but like, I don't know. Will it be like the Fortnite? No, I don't know where this guy got this idea that he wants to be the Fortnite of fucking of this, or wants to be the Riot Games. Like, yeah, dude, you got some aspirations. I don't think your game can get there. But hey, maybe we're wrong. But
who knows?
Yeah. Stricter punishment for trolls, guys.
League talk.
Yeah, League of Legends, man. If there is one thing that we talk about and we have streamed and have mentioned and has a problem with League, is the toxic fucking shit ass community that is League. Like,
yeah,
and it is insane. How like just toxic the fucking community is. But Riot apparently is cracking down on this, and this is actually not just League. There's actually several companies that are cracking down. I just want to, like, not to spend a lot of time on this, but what are your guys' thoughts on the fixing of this? So basically what they're doing, League is specifically doing, is longer queue times and queue delays, and putting toxic players in toxic lobbies.
That's a good idea. What I worry about is they're saying that for AFKers, if you get an AFK penalty, it can be 1 to 14 days of queue. Like, you're not allowed to play the game, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, one day I would say yes, but if it's like 14, then no. 100%.
But I worry, how do you differentiate somebody who intentionally AFKs and is toxic to somebody who just loses connection, power goes out, something like that? Because that's not fair for somebody.
Losing connection and power going out are two different things from people just not playing the game. Like, you can
if somebody who doesn't play the game gets like a 1-day penalty, and then somebody who loses power and can't get back on and gets like a 14-day penalty. I mean, that's
I don't think it's gonna be that wild. I don't think you're gonna see like a situation where someone that just lost power once or twice is gonna be like, oh fuck, I'm on a 14-day penalty.
I hope not. That's all I'm saying.
Like, because I can tell you,
I want to see.
I think it all has to do with a lot with like manual detection as well, because like you can 100%, if somebody's like tilted and they're just like, fuck this, I'm out, they're going to say that in chat. They're just gonna be like, fuck you guys, I'm done. A lot of the people that I've seen,
yeah, I don't know.
A lot of the people that I've seen that have AFK'd like that have said something along.
I just hope they have something in place to differentiate that from the people who just lose connection, because that to me is not fair.
I have no doubt. Again, there's like just pixel tracking, like they pixel track everything that you do anyway in their server or on their game. They can pixel track. And there's a difference between someone going to the button, hitting escape, hitting delete, right? The bigger problem is somebody goes like this and just shuts their computer down, right? Well, then the game doesn't know any different. They just see power failure, and that was it.
Power failure.
But my thing is, this is a step in the right direction for Riot, at least, to take their fucking toxic ass community somewhat seriously. To go, we got to fix this shit.
I'll say it, like, just get rid of chat. Just go purely ping systems. I don't think there's any need for a chat in the game. How many times are you really going to call out something in the middle of a fight? Go to your chat, type it out. The chat's only there to use for pretty much just like talking smack to your team.
Oh, absolutely. No, 100%.
Just take the chat away, do purely a ping system, and I think it's a better community.
Dude, I love the fact and the concept if they put them all in the fucking troll lobbies. Put them in the fucking toxic lobbies, man.
That too.
Let them all let all those Yasuo
put them in the corner, dude.
Yeah, sit in the corner.
We've talked about it in the past. Like, I think that Rockstar Games does that very well. Where in GTA 5 they take hackers and do hacker lobbies and shit. I 100% think that's the best way to prevent that kind of shit too, is because it's not fun playing against people that are as toxic or cheating as you are.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're not going to be enjoying yourself when you're in a lobby with a bunch of other toxic fuckheads.
Yeah.
Like that's not what they're enjoying.
Well, and the other problem specifically with League, right? Like other games have this problem, right? We obviously, Call of Duty has this problem. Every game has their own hacker issue, right? But the toxicity and the level at which these companies allow it is different. Riot almost promotes in a way, has been known, like when you have some people like Tyler One that I
was gonna say, if they promote Tyler One,
right, that you actively promote, who was banned for a year from that game because of his toxicity, and you watch what he does in games, like I literally can go into a League match and go, you're a Tyler One fan, aren't you? And you can find them and point them out, man, because of the way that they act. Like the
or their height.
Yeah, you know, well, their height, yeah. But like just their whole like mentality behind it. And that's what ruins the game, right? It's just like, you know who you are, you know what you're doing, and it's just like, why? You know, like, and there's and like I said, Riot has been known and is known for allowing this to be a problem. You know, and this is why Activision is an issue that it's in, because they have allowed these hackers to fucking rule their lobbies and have did nothing to really curtail this problem. So it's interesting, you know. I mean, and I hope Riot does take it seriously, you know, and changes their ways. Yeah. So World War Z Aftermath. Are you guys familiar with this game?
Yeah, it was shit when it came out.
Well, it was a completely different game when it came out, and now they are relaunching this game as a better version of it, which it is kinda. But I just want to
Didn't they jack the price up too?
$40. It was 20.
Yeah, it was 20, and they jacked it up.
Yeah. Now it's 40.
On Steam.
And now it's on Steam. It was
that was
an
the
Epic
first
exclusive.
mistake going to Epic.
It was an Epic exclusive. Yeah. And now it's on Steam, and now it's called Aftermath, and now it is $40. And it's a completely different game. What are your thoughts on this? Like,
I mean, maybe that's fine. It's a different game. Maybe they needed that, because I know, I mean, like I said, they came out and it was a shit tier game. It was bug riddled and just wasn't good. I guess it's fine being a different game. I just don't see why they jacked the price up, because they could have just kept it the same and probably.
I wonder, do you get? Hold on a sec. Let's see. Do you get to keep? Do you get Aftermath if you bought it?
Do you get it if you had the first? I don't know.
Let's see. World War Z. After, I don't even know how to sound. I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll have to look. I'll have to look and see, or someone can Google. One of you guys can Google it while I'm looking at this. But I just want to see if like you actually get it, because that's the thing. If you don't get the game and you have to rebuy the fucking game, if you have World War Z, that's shit. That is.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. I'm reading one of the reviews on Steam, and he says, "Don't buy this if you have it on Epic. Just buy the DLC there instead of it for way cheaper, unless you absolutely must play it on Steam for some reason."
So hold on a second. So I have to buy the fucking DLC. This is
They released it as a DLC.
They released it as a DLC, apparently.
They didn't just like
patch their game. Wow.
Yeah.
Bro. Fucking Christ. Please don't buy this game. Please don't support this shitty.
Don't support
fucking,
something like that. Yeah.
This is crap, dude.
This is the kind of decision making that like I don't know if you guys remember the game. I don't know if you guys ever played it. The War Z, the original one.
Yeah.
That's
what I was
this is the same kind of bullshit.
Survivor Stories. War Z.
Infestation. Wasn't it Infestation?
Infestation. Survival Stories.
Yeah.
War Z. War Z. Infection. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
it's just shady, man.
You want to talk about an identity crisis?
Yeah.
That game is the leader, the CEO.
Really shady.
So, but yeah, it's out there, and they're paying streamers to play it, and it's getting views, and it's getting bought, and it's getting played, and that's really sad.
It's got mostly positive reviews on Steam.
Oh.
Dude, Steam reviews are so botched.
Yeah, we can trust Steam reviews 100%.
When a Steam review is like mostly positive, I don't believe it half the time. Or mostly negative. Either way, that's just
it's crap. So now the big boy topics. Apple versus Epic.
Yeah.
They have come to kind of a conclusion, right? Like, isn't this like?
I think this is it. Right?
Well, the court has come to a conclusion.
That's what I'm saying. The court.
Apple and Epic basically came to a conclusion a while ago, and this is just the ending of the court filings, basically.
Finally.
But yeah, Epic and Apple's case finally kind of finished with a kind of a big fuck you from Apple to Epic this week. Apple basically, during the entire process of the court case, they were kind of wishy-washy with if they were going to let Fortnite back onto the Apple Store. And Apple originally had said something like, "Oh yeah, if Epic had just promised not to pull this shady shit, we would let them back on the Apple Store." Well, they didn't. So spoiler alert. They said, "Fuck you, you're banned off of the Apple Store up until the end of the court filings, up until basically the court filings are paid."
Which is up to 5 years.
Could be up to 5 years, yeah.
Well, so here's just so you have transpiring of what happened over the last 2 days, right? I'm on Tim Sweeney's, which I know this is Enigma's. He loves Tim Sweeney to death.
I love it, man.
If he could live with one person, it'd be Tim Sweeney.
Yeah. To see his sadness.
So Tim Sweeney tweeted on September 22nd, Fortnite should not be blacklisted for challenging an agreement containing terms the court found to be unlawful, which Apple forces on all developers as terms of service access to iOS. We'll fight on. The need for regulatory and legislative action is clearer than ever before. 23 hours ago, Apple effectively blacklisted Fortnite from the iOS App Store for 5 years. Like,
love it.
Dude, it's like it's two douchebag companies just going at each other, man.
Since the beginning, like I see no way in Tim Sweeney's mind how he thought this was going to go any differently. I don't get it.
It's because he's a self-aggrandizing fucking moron, man. Like he thinks that he is the be-all end-all savior of gaming.
He's that man. He's that guy. Yeah. He's not that guy.
Well,
this is why I can't stand the guy. Like, legitimately can't fucking stand him. And it has nothing to do with the Epic Store. I have not liked Tim Sweeney since Tim Sweeney was a thing on consoles, or since he first started making games on PC and then moved to console. Because when he first started making PC games, he left for console because he was like, "Oh, fuck PC, because you can pirate my games. I'm not doing that shit. You guys are bullshit. I'm out of here." And then when he came back to PC, he was like, "Yes. Adore me, PC gamers, for I am Tim Sweeney, and I come bearing gifts of amazing content on Unreal Engine." And everybody was like, "Fuck you, Tim Sweeney, get the fuck out."
We didn't want you back.
Well, then I love the fact that he came in and said, well, it came out, Epic has agreed with Apple that they would play by the same rules as everyone else. It's like, I don't know, man. This is like legitimately a fucking episode in like being Looney Tunes, right? I mean, it's just like watching two little pissy kids sit there and bully each other in the sandpit over who gets to lick the lollipop that fell in the cat shit, right? It's just like,
and the worst part about it is like he is acting like the victim on this one, in this entire thing. Right?
Oh, of course.
He is trying to portray himself in Epic Game Store as the victim. He knew this was going to go badly for him. They had contingent plans in place for if this went bad for Apple, with Apple, I should say, right? Like from the start, there was court documents that leaked out the information that Epic had every intention of doing this even before they actually did the actual patch, right? So they knew that this was going to backfire on them, and they did it intentionally to try and pull the whole victim card with Apple and do the whole free Fortnite bullshit, so that their little fucking 12-year-old audience would be like, "Oh yeah, free Fortnite, we gotta pay for our fucking skins."
That online court case cracked me up, dude.
Fucking ridiculous, man. And with this recent shit with him, like, how did this happen? I would love, absolutely, and I said this in the podcast chat a couple of times. I had like an entire spiel where I was talking about it, but I would love to have been a fly on his wall when he got that call that Monday morning. Like, "Hey, Mr. Sweeney, this is Joe Schmo from the
I got fired.
This is Joe Schmo from the legal department. I hate to inform you, but Fortnite's going to be banned off of Apple for 5 years."
Dude, free Joe Schmo.
Oh fuck, man! I would love to have seen his fucking facial expression go from like through all the emotions, like amazement that he's getting a call about the Apple situation, to anger, to sadness, to betrayal, to everything in between.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It again, what, like, Epic's. And again, this is just pride. This is I lived in where Epic, like, I used to live in Raleigh, you know, and it's based in Cary. It's like 10 minutes away. I could throw a rock through Epic's window if I wanted to. Epic was founded by a douchebag. It is still being run by a douchebag. And like, you have Apple, which is also being run, and like, it's a douchebag company. I mean, the reality is that Epic should have just been like, okay, we're like, whatever, we have to like pay our dues and do what everybody else says, versus trying to be scummy about the way that they were, you know, getting their money. Like, you were funneling, and it is clear in the documentation of being like, hey, you've got to funnel your money through the Apple Store. This is how things got to do. Fuck, look at Twitch, man. Like, you can't, like, yes, you can technically go and use a certain link to go and buy it this way, but like, if you want to sub through a phone, right, on Google or whatever else through Twitch, you're gonna pay more. It just is the way it fucking is. Like, that's, I don't know, man. Like, greed. It's just fucking greed.
So. This was a part of the court documents right here. So it says Epic committed an intentional breach of contract and breach of trust by concealing code from Apple and making related misrepresentations and omissions. Apple's legal department replied, in its decision, the court recognizes that Apple had contractual rights to act as they did. It merely enforced those rights as of Epic's own internal documents showed Epic Games expected. The court further founded that Apple's termination of the development program licensing agreement, which is their Epic's license to put their games on Apple's store, and related agreements between Epic and Games and Apple's was valid, lawful, and enforceable. Following that decision, Mr. Sweeney had publicly said that Epic wouldn't trade an alternative payment system away to get Fortnite back on iOS. So they gave him every possible avenue.
Of course they did.
To get Fortnite back on Apple iOS, and Sweeney went, I'm not going to do that.
No.
He didn't want to suck it up. He didn't want to admit that he made a mistake.
And then it says, in light of this and other statements since the court's decision, coupled with Epic's duplicitous conduct. Wow, I can't. That's not a word I use often. Duplicitous conduct in the past, Apple has exercised its discretion not to reinstate Epic's development program account as of this time. Furthermore, Epic will not consider any further requests for reinstatement until the district court's judgment becomes final and non-appealable. So yeah. Looks like Fortnite's not coming back, and it sounds like anything to do with Epic is probably going to get banned. So, and anything to do with their gaming engine, Unreal Engine, or anything like that, any other games that are ran off of Unreal Engine through Epic are probably going to get removed as well.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I still stand by. I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall to watch the just rage.
Yeah.
The what face as he got off the phone with Jimmy John from Down on Legal.
How could this happen to me?
Right. Oh man. Crystal Dynamics is working on the new Perfect Dark game. I'm out.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm out.
Good.
I'm out.
That sucks.
Yep. People are already touting that the new Guardian of the Galaxy games is already better than the Avengers games, which is not that hard to do, by the way. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, and they came out recently. Crystal Dynamics came out recently and said curb your enthusiasm over Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's a great start.
Yep. Oh god, dude, they have fucked that series down into the dirt. Okay, so on to the bulk of what we will probably spend the next little bit talking about. Game launch today. You guys know what game launched today? Bill, don't raise your hand. You're sick. You stay in bed. Shh.
I know.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Enigma knows.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely know.
Are you sure you know?
I do know. Chat, do you guys know? Maybe not. I don't know. Scruff, what game launched
Diablo
today?
Mobile.
Diablo Mobile.
Wait, no, Diablo 2.
Yeah, Diablo 2 Resurrected launched today. So we're going to first talk about Diablo 2, and then we're going to talk about Blizzard and what's going on there. So this game, it's not Warcraft Reforged. So it actually seems like Blizzard fucking remastered their game right. And actually kept one of an issue that was, well, they fixed it now, but one of the issues that first happened when you played Diablo was your character would get deleted. I don't know if you ever remember playing this long time ago, but you would create your character, you'd play it, you'd log off, you'd come back, your character's gone, it's deleted. Well, guess what? The remastered version had the same fucking problem. People's characters were getting deleted.
That's funny.
They fixed it, and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, this is hard, right? This is a hard thing for me because, and I've talked to Enigma about this. I've talked to Chad about this. And I know Enigma probably feels the same way, but well, in a way, I may be a little bit more like hurt by it, but Me and
No, 100%. No, I am. It's a terrible state to be in right now. If you were at all a fan of Diablo 2, like if you grew up with Diablo in general, where I did, and I'm sure where you did,
yeah,
like it's a rough one, man, because we're not getting like the Diablo 4 is not what everybody's expecting. I can tell you that right now.
no,
I don't think it's going to be anything of what everybody wants. It's going to be what Activision wants to put out.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So we're not getting what we want out of Diablo 4. We're definitely not getting what we want out of Diablo Immortal. And they're not making another Diablo, I guarantee you, for the foreseeable future, if Blizzard's even
Yeah, I
still
was to say Blizzard's not even gonna be a fucking company in the foreseeable future. So, it's just it is. This is guys. If you're not okay, this is a tale of two sides, because this, in my mind, is how you do a remaster. I have to give Blizzard accomplishments in a lot of things. Like, they took the game, they didn't fuck with it for the most part. They did change. They took some creative freedoms to change, like the Amazon and the way that they look. That I have issues with, but whatever. But all in all, like, they took a game, they remastered it, they up-resed it, and they relaunched it. Great. Like, great. That's what you're supposed to do. The problem is that, and this is a game that, this is like I tell everybody, this is the granddaddy of isometric top-down fucking looter games. Like this, like, yes, there were games before that. You know, RuneScape was a thing, but that was an MMO. Yet Ultima was a thing. You had Neverwinter, that was a thing. All of this stuff was a thing, right? But like the game that put isometric ARPGs on the fucking map, and if you go and ask any fan of action RPG games, the game that they're going to say is Diablo fucking 2. Diablo 2 was, in all of its jank and when it came out, was a fucking phenomenal fucking game. When you talk about necromancers, if I say necromancer and what, you know, what Enigma wants from a necromancer, guess what he's going to say? I want Diablo 2 necromancer. I want my entire screen filled with skellies. That's what I want. You could do it. Here's the problem. It was made by a douchebag shitbag company that is now being federally investigated, and their CEO is being subpoenaed, and they had the Overwatch director,
Overwatch
or whatever,
lead director
and left.
Overwatch 2 lead designer left.
Left. Their chief legal counsel is left, or whatever else. They're in another lawsuit because they stopped people, like a work violation lawsuit, because they stopped people from talking about the work violation at work and post work and while they're at home. So there's another lawsuit there. The company is marred by this, lawsuit that's going on where it comes to sexual abuse. So it's like, for fans that have grew up playing Diablo 2, I want to buy this game. I want to play this game. Like, this is my childhood, right? And it's like a moral dilemma of being like, do I give this douchebag company fucking money, right, to play it? And it's tough, man. It's sad, dude. Like, it's a sad thing. I don't know. I even asked my wife. I was like, I legitimately went down. I was like, babe, I gotta ask you a question. She thought it was something. I was like, I got a serious question. She's like, oh my God, what's wrong? Like, are we broke? Did you lose your job? Like, what's going on? I was like, so there's this.
Since life, like, do you have cancer? What's going on?
Right?
Did you find a lump on your balls?
She literally thought I was coming down and be like, oh, I got fired from my job or something. Or my company went belly up or whatever. I was like, babe, so there's this video game called Diablo 2. She's like, get the fuck out of here, or whatever else. So I don't know. I mean, the two part of this question is, one, do you guys see it being do you see Blizzard being a company, right? Can Blizzard survive this? Like, do you think that Blizzard can survive?
I mean,
I don't even know at this point. It's looking rough,
you can
man.
answer if you want to first. Yes, go ahead.
I don't know is my answer. Like, I don't, like, it looks so rough for them, and they have it so bad, obvious reasons. And I mean, they deserve everything that they get, but I don't know if after all this, if they're gonna be a company still. They might evolve into and get sucked up into another company. I don't know. It's hard to tell, man.
That's my thing. I don't think that they're even going to try and restructure this. Like, I think, in my opinion, from everything that we've seen, all the developers leaving, all the lead developers leaving, all the lead artists, all the lead designers leaving, right?
Yeah.
I personally think what they're going to do, and I've said this a couple times over the past few weeks while we've been covering this fiasco that's been going on with Blizzard. I think what's going to happen is Activision is just going to pull the plug. This is dying. This is a sinking ship. Fucking just scuttle it. Let's get it over with. Fire everybody. Take those people that we can, restructure them back into Activision, and then we'll just restructure the IPs back into Activision. So instead of being Blizzard's World of Warcraft, it will be Activision presents World of Warcraft.
The sad thing is that Activision should also be fucking looked into, because you can't tell me that fucking Activision doesn't have these same fucking problems.
The thing though is that with Activision, the difference between Activision and Blizzard is Activision will just throw Blizzard under the bus. They'll just be like, yeah, that was all Blizzard.
Yeah, they'll just use them as a
they'll
scapegoat.
just use that as, yeah, exactly. They'll just use that as a scapegoat and say, well, that wasn't us. That was Blizzard. We didn't know about it because we're not the same company. Here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna dissolve that entire company. And it's gonna be gone.
I mean, Bobby Boy getting subpoenaed, man. That's a big fucking deal, man. And we're not talking by like some local California court. We're talking about the goddamn federal government.
Federal government. Yeah.
Like this is. That's a big deal, and Bobby is not going to be. I would probably say within the next couple months, maybe before the end of the year. I would almost guarantee before the end of the year, there's going to be some kind of news about Blizzard getting the, thing.
Bob, the biggest thing with Bobby is nothing's going to happen to Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick is fine. Like
Bobby, they're the federal government versus Activision. That's laughable. Like. Say what you want. The federal government is a very, very, they got a lot of money. They got a lot of money to fucking prosecute people, but Activision has about just as much money. I think.
Yeah, Activision has more money than the U.S. government, so that's kind of maybe they're asking for a little bit. Like, look, man, we're gonna sue you, but can we get a loan? Like, can we get like a bridge loan or something like that?
It'll be one of those backroom fucking deals where they hey yo, let's work this out between the two of us. No court date needed. You know what I'm saying? Capiche?
I didn't know Bobby was fucking Italian, bro. Italian mafia.
I'm just saying. But yeah, no, 100%. They'll be dissolved if it does happen, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm like 98% there that Blizzard is probably going to go belly up and be completely dissolved.
The sad thing,
if it doesn't, it will be a complete shell of what Blizzard was. Yeah, there will be nobody. I mean, there already isn't anybody there that's from the original Blizzard, right? Like they've all gone. They've all been fired. They've all quit. They've all resigned. It's not Blizzard. It's Activision.
Well, they're even going after what was Rob? What's his name? What's the guy that's like Elite Tauren Chieftain? The guy that everybody like praises as being. He's got long hair. No, he doesn't. Shit. Yeah, the dude with long, not Elite Tauren Chieftain, but the guy with long fucking hair. He was like the CEO of Blizzard. Then he left. He got fired or whatever else. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. Anyway, I can picture him fucking coming out during BlizzCon, but like he's getting subpoenaed. Huh?
Kotick?
No.
Rob Kotick? No,
that's Bobby. That's the CEO of Activision. But anyway,
Morheim.
Yeah, Morheim. That's not. That's Elite. That's ETC. Anyway, they're all getting subpoenaed too. Like everybody's going to court over this shit. Or whatever. The sad thing about it is like there are good people that work at Blizzard, and there are a lot of people that work at Blizzard that put a lot of sweat, time, and I think effort into their game, and they believe in what the company could stand for. But you've got this kind of stuff happening, and that's what my wife said. She's like, well, why don't you can buy the game. It's like you're still supporting the people that developed it. But I'm like, yeah, but it's still going to a shit company that is,
that's my biggest issue with it. Like, yeah, we had the discussion a while ago about people not abusing and taking out their frustration on Blizzard, on the developers. But the fact of the matter is that I don't want to give Activision and Blizzard my money.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to reward that company for shit that they're putting out. Right. And we had a conversation about this last night where you were like, well, what are your thoughts on this? And I'm like, I'm not going to buy it. I want to, I want to every day, ever since I played the beta for it. I was like, fuck dude, this feels like Diablo 2, like 100%. I want to play
It's hard to watch streams, bro. It's real hard to watch streams.
I haven't been watching any. That's my biggest thing. And that's my secret. That's my trick. I just forget that it's a thing.
Yeah. It's tough, man. Trust me, dude. I've hovered over that fucking cart. Like I've hovered over it, man, to be like, just do it. I could do it. It's.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like something like Diablo 2 that is this deep seated in my like core of where I came from. This really kicked off my MMO love. This kicked off my isometric love. It kicked off my action RPG. Like
the way that I look at it right now, right, is I could buy it and I could have just as much fun as I had when I was playing Diablo 2 originally, right? The problem with that is that I'm about 30 years older than I was then, and I will probably remember it in an extent of what it wasn't. Like my
your rose tinted glasses.
My memory of the game will be better than what it actually is, because it was already like that when I was playing the beta. I was like, oh, it's gonna be so great, it's gonna be so amazing, and then I got in the beta and I was like, yeah, this is.
Oh, the jank is still there, bro.
Legitimately, one of the first things that came out of my mouth, I was talking to my brother while I was playing it, because he was wanting to know about it, and he played it a lot with me as well. Was one of the first things that came out of my mouth was, man, this is as shitty as I remember it.
I mean, it definitely. So, like, me going into it, I looked at it as just being like, I don't want them to fix the jank. I still want the jank. I still want all the bullshit. I just want it to look better.
Yeah,
that's what this is. If you go into it, like, in fact, I was watching Soda Poppin stream it, and he was like, why the fuck are there so many walls? Why the fuck does this happen? Why the fuck does that happen? I'm like, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about, because this is the same. Like, you are asking for modern updates, and if they would have done that, then you just would have gotten Diablo 3. Like, that's what Diablo 2, which
and I read an article today that kind of made me laugh. I think it was from PC Gamer. They're having some great takes from PC Gamer. I don't know what the fuck their journalists are doing over there, but the specific one was like, I played Diablo 2 remastered. I loved it, but it just makes me want to play Diablo 3, and I'm like, yeah, it's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't know what you want. Like, it's a fucking 20 some odd year old game that they basically spit shined and said, here you go, pay me $40 for another fucking version of this game.
I do think that it is overpriced. It's $40. It's overpriced.
I thought it was 20. Oh my gosh.
No, it's overpriced. 100% overpriced.
100%.
It should be $20.
I feel it should have been free, honestly.
I think it should be free if you own Diablo 2.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking originally they should have done, but wow.
But no, it's $40, and their whole stick now is like, oh, we're gonna add content to it, and I'm like, what content are you gonna add to this? Because there's one that's not easy, man. Like, you're talking about recoding for a game that's 20 years old, where you just basically up-res it. Like, how are you gonna make content for that makes sense? The
bigger question that I have with it is like, okay, so you're gonna be making new content for a 20-plus-year-old game, right? What are you pulling people from the current new game that you're developing to make 20-plus-year-old content?
That, and they disabled TCP/IP. Like, you disabled the ability.
That was a huge one.
Like, for me to be able to play, like, basically, essentially, to have mods. Like, why?
Not just mods, but offline as well. I don't think you can play this game offline.
You can play it offline. Well,
last time I checked, you couldn't.
No, there's an offline mode. They added offline mode.
My question is, do both versions of the game still run simultaneously?
I have not. I don't know. So I can't.
In the beta, it still did. So unless they changed that, I want to know within the last couple of weeks, then yeah.
I know that it still has the slider ability. I know that because I saw it where it was like, turn on fucking old school mode, turn on new school mode. Yeah,
but if they're making new content for this game, are they making it for two versions of the game technically? Are they going through and making this content in this new Resurrected,
they would have to,
and then the old?
They would have to.
I guess, yeah.
If it still runs in both instances.
In both, yeah.
Which again, if they've fixed that within the last 3 weeks, I will be increasingly more impressed with Diablo, because I very highly doubt that that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. The crazy thing about it again is, like, we're still talking about a game where the company most likely will not exist in 4 months, 5 months. So them being like, we're going to get new content. I would doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt that they're not going to have new content, because again, Diablo or Blizzard might go under, right? Like, they might completely dissolve Blizzard, but the IPs are still going to be around. Yeah, they're not going to stop trying to get money out of World of Warcraft.
Okay,
like, they're not just going to shut down World of Warcraft. They're not just going to shut down Diablo 4.
Well, no,
right?
So let's say that they keep the content and they're going to add new content. What are they going to add? Are you going to add a new class? You can't. How do you add a new class?
Yeah.
What are you gonna add a new level? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, how? Like, what could you possibly do? Are you gonna add mapping? Like, what they should do is they should go to the guys that do Project Diablo 2 because they've added content into that game. They should go to them and be like, "Yo, you want a job?" Like, or whatever else. And I'm pretty damn sure that that's probably gonna get shut down, especially if they go down the route that they are going to say, "Hey," because Project Diablo 2 right now is. The guy is flirting with the idea of being able to basically make Project Diablo 2 with Resurrected. If that is the case, if he does that, I may buy Diablo 2 Resurrected, which sucks. I don't know. It just sucks, man. Blizzard, why do you got to be a bunch of assholes? Like, why can't you?
Well, we were talking about it before, like last night, like just where it went wrong, I think was what we were talking about last night, right? You were asking me kind of like if this sexual abuse allegations and all this other bullshit that happened wouldn't have gone on, would you still feel the same way that you feel about Blizzard currently? And I told you, yeah, 100%, I would still not buy that game, right? And it's 100%. It has nothing to do with the sexual allegations and the sexual assault allegations that's going on. That 100% has a lot to do with my hatred for Blizzard right now, but my indifference on buying the game did not stem from that. It stemmed from the fact that BFA in itself was one of the worst rated and worst received expansions,
a terrible expansion
for World of Warcraft, right? And that's on top of Warlords of Draenor. Okay, so that in itself showed me that Blizzard could give zero fucks about their community, because the community told them that was a terrible expansion, and they said, we're going to release it anyways, and you guys are going to pay for it. So that right there told me everything that I needed to know about Blizzard. On top of that, Warcraft 3 Reforged was the shit show of the century, right? Their entire they just basically said, fuck it, just release what we had, and if they don't like it, they can screw off, right? So that right there, on top of the what's it called, the WoW expansion, on top of that, just basically told me no more Blizzard. I'm done with Blizzard, for 100% done with it.
Yeah, it just sucks, man. Yep. It just, like I said, it just all around sucks, because I want to play this game. I want to own this game. I want to relive what I had.
You already own it.
I know I do, but I want the up-res prettier version, man. Like, trust me, the one thing that's keeping me from is being like, fuck it, I'll just install Project Diablo 2 and play that. Like,
yeah, just do it. You're getting the same. You're getting the same exact content that you would get out of it. You're just. It's not. It's just not as.
It's
pretty.
just not pretty. It's not as pretty.
Like you're still getting the same story. You're still getting the same combat. You're still getting
actually, I'm getting more combat. I'm getting more stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say they added more.
You're still getting the same game basically.
It still just sucks, man.
It's just not as upscaled, and you still get the Amazon with her big titties. So there is that.
There's our 15,000 likes.
They might be 2 polygon titties, but they're still big titties.
Hey man,
it's such a
Laura
good game.
Croft was bae.
Such a good game. Are you? Oh, those are your spooky Oreos, huh?
Oreos.
Yeah. Speaking of which, spooky season, guys, right around the corner. I think we're gonna get you in We're gonna get you in Phasmophobia VR, bro.
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie. One of the big things that I want to do with this VR headset is play some I'm not. You guys already know. 100%.
You are playing Phasmophobia.
If you guys do not know this about me, I hate horror games. Hate them with a passion. Can't stand them. Hate them. And I am willing to play horror games on VR, which is even worse because I'm in the fucking game.
Sin's gonna run up to Enigma holding a doll and shove it in his face.
Well, he might, man. It's gonna fucking suck, dude.
Yeah. Phasmophobia VR will happen on stream. That is gonna happen. I will do it. If I will get in the VR and do Phasmophobia, so will you. We're gonna do it. I'm excited for spooky season, in the co-op.
Play all these games.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's coming around the corner. Also, guys, by the way, 5 days from now, New World's coming out. So mark your calendar if you're a New World fan. That'll be coming out. We'll be talking about that next show, obviously. But yeah, it's questions time. We'll open it up there. Please don't pose any questions to Bill. He's still, he's sleeping right now. He's still sitting down there. You doing all right, Bill? You doing okay? Okay. Don't try to talk. Again, keep the thermometer in your mouth, man. We got to make sure you're feeling better. All right. So does anyone actually feel like Amazon looked like someone that just came right out of the nightclub? Wait, what? I don't I don't understand
I don't
that
know.
question. Like,
one thing I have to say about the Amazon is people are saying it looks like an old guy. I mean, yeah, they obviously did a surgery and reduced some stuff, but I don't think. I mean, the character looks like more of a representation of an Amazon woman to me now than ever.
all right, let me look at this. Amazon
I mean, Amazon's
D2 versus D2R.
I mean that they're supposed to look like, you know, native and more masculine.
Okay, so first off, 100%, that face is the face of the
Yeah.
necromancer.
Yeah.
By the way.
Necromancer.
So that image that you've that right there of the D2R Amazon is the necromancer Amazon or necromancer face from D2R. That's what that is.
I can kind of see it, but I don't know. I mean, to me, it still doesn't look that. Obviously, it's probably based off that face, but I don't know. I think it still looks like
I think it's ridiculous that they changed it. Like,
Yeah,
the
biggest issue that I have with this kind of shit is just the simple fact that they changed it, and the reason why they changed it is because they were going through this whole sexual assault allegation bullshit, and they were like, "We've got to get the women on our side. Let's make the Amazon have smaller tits and an uglier face. That's the way we need to go."
It's kind of crazy, man. I mean, if you look at if you look at the what it was in the beta to now, like. I mean, she was. I don't know, man. This is it's ridiculous. I think to like make this drastic of a change.
Yeah.
When
I think it really wasn't needed. I don't know.
I think the thing about it is why now did it happen? Like it wasn't something that changed in the alpha. It wasn't something that changed in the first beta. It's now changed. You know what I mean? Like why?
And did anyone bring it up in the first beta? Like
no,
they didn't change it in the first beta.
Right. Nothing was.
This is literally a change that they just barely did for the release.
Right.
Yeah, but like, what was the cause? Like,
we don't know. They just changed it. There was no actual. They were just like, hey, by the way, fucking, we did this for some reason. No. Don't pay attention to what's going on the rest of our company because we're all a bunch of fucking horn dogs that can't keep our dicks in our pants. But you know, hey, we changed this.
Christ.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So
any other questions?
Except there's something about knowing if we know our Lord and Savior NordVPN. So that was I don't know. Sigma, man, coming out with all these weird questions. Yeah. All right, that's the show, guys. We're gonna give you a minute back on your time. Thank you guys all for being here and hanging out. You know, even though we were a squid down, we tried to hold the show together, even though OBS was giving us fucking weird glitchy issues. Enigma got hit.
Scuffed cast.
Enigma got hit by lightning. Like it's nuts, man. But yeah, you know, we did our damn thing. Thank you guys all for hanging out here. Again, make sure to check us out. ! Podcast in the channel will get you all of the links to be able to watch and listen to the other shows on your favorite podcasting app, whether it be Apple, Google, you know, wherever, Spotify, I don't know, wherever else you listen to apps or podcasts from. There's, you know, we're almost at 50 episodes, man. We're getting close up there. There's a lot of fucking shit. But thank you guys all for hanging out and being here. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. And as always, have fun, live life, and play fucking video games, man. Life's too fucking short to worry about other shit. So we outie. We outie. Bye, guys.
Who says?
I said that.
No, I say that.
Shut up.